Quileute Reservation, La Push, October 2006. The scream echoed all the way to the cliff. It was Seth who let it out, not from fear, from rage, from confusion. Because in the cedar clearing, in front of everyone, Jacob Black had just broken the bond. Sam stood tall, muscles tense, his voice like a blade. "Are you saying you'll protect the Cullens before your own blood?" Jacob didn't blink. "I'm saying I'll protect Bella. She's not one of us, but she will be. And she didn't choose this." Silence fell like a stone. And then, in a single mental shift that echoed through everyone present, Jacob left, and Seth followed. Bella was burning. Not from the pregnancy, not from the uncertain future, but because she knew what had just happened. "What did you do?" she whispered when she saw Jacob appear in the cabin, with Seth close behind. "I chose. You chose to go against your family?" Jacob knelt in front of her. "You're my family too." The new pack was born that night. Small, broken, but determined. Jacob, Seth, and soon after, Leah. "I'm not doing this for you," she told Jacob. "I'm doing it for my brother." But everyone knew deep down, Leah stayed because she couldn't stand injustice. Sam, for his part, did not forgive. "If they don't come back," he said to Embry, Paul, and Quill, "they will be considered enemies." The air grew heavy. Embry looked down. Paul growled, undecided, and Quill took a step back. "I'm sorry, Jake," he said, and stayed beside Sam. Tension escalated quickly. Double patrols, territory crossings, psychic shoves in the mind link. And the worst part, the pack bond didn't just share thoughts, it shared emotions. Jacob felt Sam's rage like a spear in his back. Sam felt Embry's conflict, Quill's guilt, Leah's pain. The emotional balance that had held them together was broken. The day Jacob stopped Sam from approaching the Cullen house, the war began. First with growls, then with physical shoves, then with bites. Seth was wounded in the first encounter. Jacob defended himself like a leader who wasn't quite ready. And Leah fought like her soul had burned long before she was born. But it wasn't enough. Sam was stronger, had more wolves, more training, more fury. Charlie Swan understood nothing. He saw Jacob disappear for days, saw Bella waste away in bed, and heard howls at night no one else seemed to hear. "What's going on with that family?" he asked Billy Black. And Billy just stared at the fire and said, "What happens when instinct clashes with the heart, when love becomes an act of war?" Meanwhile, the Cullens couldn't intervene. Carlisle refused to raise a hand against the wolves. Emmett wanted to join. Rosalie focused only on Bella. Alice couldn't see the future clearly. Renesmee's changing presence clouded all her visions. And Edward couldn't bear hearing Jacob's thoughts every time he came near. Thoughts like, "If Bella dies, none of this will have been worth it." Then came the first signs of the Volturi. A sentinel saw a figure in a black cloak watching from the trees at the edge of La Push. It didn't attack, just watched. But that was enough. Edward gathered the Cullens, Jacob called his own, and Sam from the reservation knew something bigger was coming too. It was Leah who said it first. "They're going to crush us if we don't stop killing each other." "And what do you suggest?" Jacob asked. "We give them something they don't expect. Unity, even if it's temporary." Seth looked at her like she was speaking another language. Edward, who heard, felt a spark of hope, and Alice that night had another vision. It wasn't clear, but for the first time in weeks it wasn't blocked. It only said, forest, fog, blood, 2 packs, united, just in time. But Sam still didn't know if he'd accept it, because forgiveness wasn't just accepting the enemy. It was looking at your brother, the one who broke the bond, the one who faced you in the field, and saying, "I need you again." And not everyone was ready for that. Winter came early that year. The mountains were blanketed in snow, and in the shadow of the trees, the Volturi were coming. With them, an inevitable choice: stay divided and die, or unite claws and fangs to save what's left. And in the heart of Forks, 2 pack leaders looked toward the same horizon, but still hadn't taken a step toward each other. 3 days later, snow had begun to cover the roads of Forks, silent like a warning. On the border between La Push and the forests where the Cullens lived, 2 packs watched from the shadows, one under Sam's command, another under Jacob's. Both breathed restrained hatred, exhaustion, and fear, because now they knew they weren't the greatest danger. After days of blockage, Alice saw it clearly, a vision so vivid it dropped her to her knees. Caius is coming with a reduced guard, 5 members, Felix, Dimitri, Jane, and 2 new ones. Powerful. When? Edward asked. Today, at sunset. Carlyle proposed a meeting, not between covens, but between packs. Jacob accepted. Sam took longer to answer, but when he came, he brought Embry, Paul, and Quill with him. The air between them was heavier than ever. They didn't speak of Bella or Renesmee or who was right. Only one thing, the Volturi are coming, Jacob said, and they don't distinguish between Quileute and Quileute. Nor between traitor and brother, Sam added. A long silence. Then Sam finally said, "We won't fight by your side because we trust you. We'll fight because this is our land." Jacob nodded, and because we can still save it. The forest became a battlefield. Caius didn't seek dialogue, only punishment. "You have allowed the creation of an immortal child," he accused, "and your division shows your weakness. You do not deserve to exist." "We are not immortal," Bella said before all. "We just fight to live without fear." Caius raised his hand. Too late. And the battle erupted. Jane struck first, with her intangible pain, but Bella had trained her shield to the limit, and that day she stretched it further than ever before. Jane fell to her knees, unable to harm anyone. Felix faced Emmett in a brutal duel. The earth trembled with every blow. Rocks flew, trees fell. But it was Leah, in wolf form, who surprised him from the flank, taking him down with the strength of years of contained fury. Dimitri tried to hunt Renesmee. Seth stopped him. A leap, a bite, a roar. But Dimitri was fast, too fast. Seth was wounded severely. Jacob in wolf form howled, not in pain, but in a call. And Sam answered. They ran side by side as if years hadn't broken them, as if division had never existed. And together they finished the last guard. Caius was left alone, surrounded, defeated, at the feet of Carlyle and Edward. "You can kill me," he said with disdain, "but there will always be another Volturi, another shadow." Carlyle said nothing, but Edward did. "We don't need revenge. You already have what you feared most, the end of your power." Caius was exiled, the others captured, and Volterra never sent anyone again. Seth didn't survive. He died that night, with Jacob and Leah on either side, without fear, without resentment, only with pride. "It was worth it," he whispered, and his body was buried among the trees, where no borders existed, where howls didn't separate packs. Weeks later, the new treaty was signed. Not in stone, not in blood, but with a promise between Jacob and Sam. "We can think differently," Jacob said, "but never again will we destroy ourselves because of it," Sam replied. Lapush and Forks breathed again, not like before, never like before, but with respect. Bella and Edward walked on the beach with Renesmee. Sam and Emily passed by them without tension, and the youngest children of both packs played together in the rain. Because in the end, neither blood, nor pride, nor rage saved their world. It was an alliance born from pain and sealed with a single howl that under the clear night sky sounded like one.